Good morning, guys. This is Danny Jugan with Axis Games. Today we're going to be looking at our 11th development video for Axis Football 2016. And we've got a list of 5 or 6 things that we're going to look at this morning. And we've been doing a lot of work, and I think you guys are going to be excited about some of the changes that we have made and are going to be making. So first thing I want to show you guys is kind of an update to the pass blocking that we have been working on. Got some good feedback about the pocket dropping too far back, them giving up too much ground and that sort of thing. So I'll show you briefly kind of what we've done. So they still have their the backup part of the animation, but they're not going to back up as far, and then they're going to get into their block a little bit sooner. So this creates a nice pocket. And one of the other huge things that we have done is I recoded the thought process and the algorithm for determining who to block. What we had previously was each individual player acted on their own. And what they basically did was they looked and they said, is there anyone around me to block? And if there's anyone around me, find the closest person and go block them. And on the surface, that makes sense. But when you're in a team environment and you're trying to work with cooperative AI, it doesn't always yield the best results. For example, if you look right here, 65 is obviously going to block. They're 65. So these two guys are going to be blocked. And in the old system, 79 would say, well, this guy needs to be blocked. He's the closest guy to me, so I'm going to go block him too. Which, that's not always a bad thing, but when we have a situation where we have this guy out here and he needs to be blocked as well, 79 should realize, okay, 65's got this guy, so I should take him. Okay, kind of the working together. And this has been recoded, so that will take into effect. Same thing here. So we've got this guy going to block him. 74, even though he's closer to this guy, is going to block out here in 58. Okay, and I think 43 is going out for a pass, so 79 should come over and grab 98. So what this is going to do is it's going to create a better pocket, and it's going to create better, more realistic blocking up front. You're not going to get people that are just completely unblocked. It's way too easy to get sacks in the current version of the game, and this was one step to fixing that. Certainly it can be fixed by cheating and making players slower, but I want to do things the right way to make this as much a simulation game as possible. So we can watch how the rest of this plays out. You see 79 will go pick up this guy, and what we get is a nice pocket that's formed. Realistically, people are blocked, and if you notice, the idle blocking animations are no longer there, where they just kind of stand and hug while these guys are kind of grappling. Their feet are moving, their hands are moving, and so this was something that was a huge area that we needed to improve with the current game, and we're happy with the results. We may continue to tweak things a little bit, but that's kind of the blocking aspect of it. The other side to this is when these defenders break out of the blocks, they're going to perform kind of a defensive player move, and what he's done here is he's kind of shedding off that block. You see I don't know if you can see me, kind of pushing him off to the side, so they're in the block, and then he sheds him off to the side. Again, adding some realism. What they did in 2015, I'm sure you guys have seen, is they're in the block, they're just standing still, and then all of a sudden they both drop their arms, and then they just start running again, which looks really bad. So now they're going to do, he might do a shed, he might do a swim move, he might do a spin move, he might do a rip through, and so depending on his positioning, they're going to do various moves. So this should add a good deal of realism to the game, Is this guy breaking out of the block? I don't think quite yet. So let me move him out of the way a little bit, and so we can see maybe what some of these other guys do. Alright, so you see this guy spinning off of the block, and he's coming after the quarterback now. And 68's trying to... 68 was our center. I think he's coming back to try to pick up this block. Let's help him a little bit. You come block. So we get a block here. This guy's swimming off of his block. Let's see what the other guy's doing. So, yeah, hopefully you guys are excited about that. You also take a look at our football field that mirrors or doubles as a baseball field. You get kind of like a bird's eye view of it. It's one of the field textures that we're going to be adding. Cross this off. Alright, so a couple more things I want to show you guys this morning is the stands. So I know you guys know that we have updated the crowds to reflect the color of the home team. So here's for San Diego. And I want to show you kind of in the file system where all this stuff is, so it can be modded if you guys are inclined to do that. So you'll notice that you'll have a mods folder just like you do normally, or you will in the 2016 version just like you do in the version that you guys have now. And it's been rearranged, and I've gone through this previously in one of the other development videos showing you how we've changed it, but I've added a couple things. And so I want to go through that real quick. And I will be putting out complete instructional videos for how to mod everything, but I'm going to wait until I've got everything in place before I do that. So if we go into team mods, here we see all of the teams in the game, excuse me, and then all of the template files. So if you want to make adjustments, these are the template files that you have. So if we go into Arizona, for example, we see all of the different graphical files that get loaded into the game at runtime. So here's your center field logo. That's what goes right here. The crowd is new. This is one of the things that wasn't there in the previous time I showed this. End zone, that's what goes down here in this blue section. And then the helmet and the logo, these are for GUI stuff. So like the scoreboard down at the bottom, all of the in-game menus and that sort of thing, that's where this comes from. You notice we've got crowd and cheerleader. These two things are new. So whatever is in this crowd, this gets pulled in to the game and loaded. And we also have the same thing for cheerleaders. And all of these folders will have cheerleader and crowd, and I've gone through and we have a cheerleader and crowd for all of these, so it doesn't matter which one you pick. They're all in place. These are going to get loaded into the cheerleaders at runtime. Right now it's not set up, it's not coded to do that, and I think we actually have time to do that together this morning. So if we go into scene, you can see that our cheerleaders are here, but their uniforms aren't getting loaded in. Okay, so that's something that we can do real quick. It's not a lot of code to get that to work. But you can see our crowd is getting loaded in. If I change the home team and go, let's go with 24. I forget what team is 24. The Eagles. Yeah, so you see their crowd gets loaded in. Little juke move. See if I can get a first down. Oh, I should have followed the blocker. And that, what you saw right there, was one of the new tackle animations. It's not working quite yet. But I tweeted a few days ago that we have brand new tackle animations. We're increasing the number significantly. Really? So we'll still be working on those. Alright, so there is our crowd. Get a good look at them there. Those get loaded in at runtime. So let's go ahead and code the cheerleaders. Let's kind of finish that up. So this is going to be, let's go scripts, mods, team mods, and then we're going to go public texture load cheerleader uniforms int home team index. And then I'm going to copy this here. See if all these are good. 1024 by 1024. Alright, that looks good. And then we'll go to game setup. Okay. Save this. I need persistent data. Okay. Got that. And then the last thing that I need to do is go to the title screen. We'll get that in 1 second. Alright, so we need to go where are our cheerleaders? Alright, that'll link our cheerleaders to our script. And then my title screen script. Pull this here too. Make sure that's right. My manage soft team manager load uniforms. Okay. Cross your fingers. File not found. Well, let's see if it's there. It's right there. Mods, team mods, Philadelphia cheerleader dot, is it a PNG? Oh, it's a JPEG, that's why. Dirt, dirt. Well, let's pick a team that isn't already green. And obviously these are completely moddable. You can change them. Alright, so we'll say cheer graphic.name. I loaded the graphic in and I saved it, but I forgot to apply it to the cheerleader. There we go. Alright, so now our cheerleaders are properly clothed in their correct uniform texture. So you see here are the Steelers, just kidding, the Steelmen uniforms. And what I'm also going to do is there are some different hairstyles for the cheerleaders, just to add a little bit of randomness to it, so it's not, they're not all identical. Let's check out one more. That you notice when I stop running the game, it loads kind of random stuff in there. That's normal. That is because, let's do 7. That's because the texture is loading in at runtime, and so when you stop the game, it goes away. I don't want to do Cleveland. Let's do 5. There we go. So here we've got Chicago. You can see the Bears uniforms. So again, just adding a little bit to the game. The goal is to just make it look more like a crowd environment. And so future stuff that would like to add cameramen on the sideline, coaches, equipment, and that sort of thing. So we will get to that soon enough. Alright, so that'll do it for us in this development video. Hopefully you guys are excited about this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So comments, questions, anything like that, definitely throw it down in the comment section below. Reach out to me on Twitter if you have anything else you guys want to chat about, but that'll do it for us this week. I'm not sure what we'll get into next week. Maybe we'll look at those tackling animations, but in just a few weeks we're going to be doing beta testing, so all of those, or those of you that have purchased or like I said pre-ordered the 2016 version, you guys know it comes with beta testing. That'll be going out in a couple weeks. I need to do the UI for inside of the game, and I want to get the game in a good playable state. Right now there's still some issues, but yeah, that's coming up, and then not long after that we'll be getting on Steam Greenlight and preparing for release. So it's exciting and busy times here. So I guess we will wait and chat with you guys next week. So until then, I am Danny Jugan, and you guys have a good one.